issues that maybe should be on the agenda aren't on the agenda. What ways would an organisation like yours try to influence those powers to incorporate some of the history, which is a shared history at the end of the day? It's not as if the history only happens to one person. You know, if you're a slave, then that connects to two people, the slave master and the slave.
Well, if you're the slave master, I can understand why you wouldn't want the slave to know the history. So there's a problem there. You're right that the education curriculum is set by people whose agenda is not necessarily to benefit us, to inform us of who we are and what we're about. Incidentally, I only learned what the word educate means through Baba George. It comes from a Latin word educare, which means to bring out. So everything is already within us, and it is what is brought out of us. So when you live within the system only wants to bring out of you what is beneficial to the system. So they teach you, they put in you what they want, what benefits them. So it is important for organizations like Break the Cycle, indeed for all of Nubian people, all original and African people, to take it upon themselves to educate themselves, to bring out of themselves what they want to see manifest, not to let some other authority dictate or govern what should be put into their minds and what should come out of their spirits. It is crucial that we do so. But of course, we don't run things here. We only have small amount of energy, small amount of resources. So we do the best we can. We do little seminars such as what we did yesterday. We do our meetings weekly in which we try to discuss things and educate each other, because I know things which you don't know. You know things which I don't know. So we share. We meet on the street, we can educate each other at the street corner. It's just coming together, is unity that will help us to educate ourselves and bring out the right things.
And in terms of people contacting your organisation, if they're interested in finding out more, any email addresses or numbers you'd want to give out for people to do that?
If anyone would like to become a part of Break the Cycle, you're free to come down to our meetings, which we hold on a Thursday evening at the All Souls Community Centre. That's at the corner of Ilkeston Road and Gregory Boulevard. Some of you may know it's across the road from the Gregory pub, so that should be easy enough to find. We're just on the other side of the road.
And for those who drink water, the address?
Yeah, man, we're there at the All Souls Church. We'll be there every Thursday from 7 till 10. And I think that's the best way forward for you to come and have a flavour, see what we're about and see what we do. But other than that, we're always doing things within the community, events such as the one we did last time, yesterday, and there will be opportunities for the people to get involved in what we do.
All right, and finally, before you go, Pitman, would you like to read a small piece from one of your books for us? As you've brought a couple in with you, maybe just a 30-second clip from something to give people an idea of the sorts of ideas you've been ruminating on and writing about for these many years in the city of Nottingham.
While Pitman is choosing his passage, I would just like to share something with you which I only was brought to my attention yesterday by the eminent Baba George Ben Anthony. We are celebrating Black History Month, which is a misnomer really, because what is Black history? If anything, it should be called African History Month, Nubian History Month, or something along those kind of lines. And why do we have just a 1 month in which to celebrate it? And did we, the original man, the African people, did we choose that it should be celebrated in November or October? Did we choose that month? Is it up to us, or have the powers that been dictated to us that at this time is when you should celebrate your history and no other time? We do celebrate Black History Month, but it's something of, it's a pariah really, it's improper. History, our history goes on. We are our history. Anytime we talk to each other, we are dealing with Black history, we're dealing with African history. And the origins of what the time, the event that we call African Black History Month now come from America, where a group of scholars in fact used to pay African people who they met on the streets to come up and listen to someone teaching them their history. It was African people taking it upon themselves to teach other Africans their history. And this is what happens to us. We begin something for our benefit and the authorities take it over, and it becomes something where we don't know that the origin of this thing is with us. It is Nottingham City that puts on Black History Season for the African people, as if we can't do that for ourselves. Something is not right there.
Interesting points. Interesting points. Pitman, are you ready for us?
Yeah, it's like when somebody sets out to research a subject, I am introducing a technique within the confines of Inklings of a Black Christ to look at it globally, look at your subject like really an umbrella. And if I'm talking about the impact, not just color, phenotypical shades, and where is the geography, or how do I justify the fact that Jesus Christ and the angels and patriarchs and prophets are African in their origin. I am reaching out in order to embrace other factors, subordinate features, like you'd say the second coming of Christ. Is this a valid expectation? The resurrection story, how factual it is, how genuine are the paintings within the Bible. As we know, they're all blonde images which defeat the purpose, because Dr. Francis Cress Welsing in the ISIS papers are saying, train up a child in the way he or she should grow. And she feels that the damage has been done in Hans Christian Andersen's color storybooks at the age of 6, 7 and 8. And when those same children are told that Jesus Christ and Snow White and all these and the disciples are of the same blonde images, and 20, 30, 40 years later you're trying to overturn or redress that imbalance, the same people, Dr. Barashango, will turn against you and war with you in order to reinforce the Eurocentric educational system. So my book is looking at the second coming of Christ. For instance, the virgin birth. There are mythical factors, unfortunately, which is to do with the anachronism, mistakes in terms of language, miscalculations, old manuscripts, new manuscripts, whatever and whatever. There is a panoply of errors within our own Bible. The Bible is a literature, piece of literature from the Nile Valley, which unfortunately has been appropriated by Europeans, and unfortunately this book, in an uphill struggle, is trying its best to redress the balance. And the truth, the time is now.
Pitman Brown giving us an insight into his work, Inklings of a Black Christ. Galeb from Breaking the Cycle, thank you both for joining us on BBC Radio Nottingham this afternoon. Fascinating subject, I'm sure we'll return to it here on BBC Radio Nottingham. Thanks very much, gentlemen.